Hello, everyone, and welcome to Jobber Radio Prediction League Frontline. Yes, this is the official logo you're seeing, thanks to Bomber. He does all the stuff for JobberRadio.com for the graphics. He also founded the thing and all that fun stuff. But, yes, I am your co-host, Scott. I am here with your other co-host, BeerMe Jesus, and we're here to break down WrestleMania. Not the real one, but the JRPL one. We'll get all into that in a moment's notice. But first off, BeerMe, how are you doing today, sir?
Hi, Scott. I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself?
I'm doing pretty good. Since we last recorded, the world kind of has gone to crap. And
Oh, yeah.
it already was going that way before, but now things are really, really weird. And I know here in Ontario, the state of emergency is extended 2 more weeks, and it's pretty nuts right now. But one thing I know we all have that we can look forward to is the stuff with WrestleMania, be it the real one this weekend, and also the JRPL one, which is complete. Somewhat. Things always change when there's no shows. Matches have to be moved around and changed, and when you have multi-man matches, that gets messy. But as long as people do their part and predict on time, you'll be good to go. As far as I understand it, currently, the prediction page will be going up at some point on Friday, which, do bear in mind, that means that SmackDown might not have happened yet. And yes, we know they're taped, and no, we're not talking spoilers, but I'll get into how that stuff's going to be handled as we go. But right now, the JRPL WrestleMania, it's not going to be taped. It's going to be live. We're going to have it on the weekend with the write-up coming a couple of days after. But what we want to talk about here today are a few things promoting that. And the first is actually the power rankings. Now, this is something we've not really talked about before. It is something that was mentioned on a former Would You Talk episode here and there. And that's about it. We've never really been able to talk about power rankings properly on one of these shows because there's always 3 or 4 things to catch up on. There hasn't been a show for almost a month, so we can definitely talk about the power rankings, which people can see on screen here. With Redhead, with her top lock title, yes, she finally won the big one. BeerMe, on the power rankings, just so you are aware, my friend, you dropped to 3rd on the Faces.
I did.
World champion. That's mostly because GMSG and Spring Tigress won the tag titles and the TTCC and overtook you at top spots. So I'm sure you're okay with that, but
Yeah, there's no hard feelings.
Yeah.
No hard feelings.
now so people know.
They deserve it.
Well, you're tag team partners. You're the must-see good guys, right? With GMSG.
That's true.
And sadly, you were supposed to face Spring Tigress. As we've mentioned, the Takeover card, the Ring of Honor card, the Super card, all canceled. And we were able to move stuff because we operate as one thing. A lot of it was moved to WrestleMania, but some stuff fell by the wayside. There's literally your match with Spring Tigress never happened. It was more or less like a showcase challenge, but we never got it. Gideonio
Maybe down the line.
was supposed to defend against a whole whack of people. Didn't happen. We'll get to that. But
Yeah.
he's still at 4th place, solidly there. Tino dropped to 5th, but he is your WrestleMania challenger. We'll get to that shortly. Payne, Jonathan C.T. Martin, they're on the list. Bastion and Bomber dropped. They're 8 and 9. And rounding out the top 10 is Luke Gray, who is up to 10. I don't know if he's been higher than that, so he's actually jumped to 10th place. Did you read through the stuff with the power rankings? Did you follow through the articles or anything in there? Because they do mention some stuff briefly with top stuff. And
Yes, I have, actually.
anything standing out, at least from the Faces? Any surprises there? Or just commentary on that in general to see who's there?
I mean, at first I was a little shocked to see that I had fallen to 3rd, but then I realized that the tag team had won the tournament and the titles, so that's a big deal. Let me see what else. There's not a whole lot from the Faces side, I guess, other than that I can think of.
One thing you mentioned with GMSG and Tigress, they are now the only team to win the tournament twice. They're 2-time tag champions, which there's only a handful that can say that. Tigress is a 3-time. I think literally only she can say that. I forget. There might be one other, but I'm pretty sure it's only her.
Yeah.
So, yeah, as far as you're concerned, okay, yeah, they kind of outdid you this time. And it's not really an overall, like, everything ranking. It's kind of like, after this, who's on a roll, who's hot, who's on a downside. So If you hop over to the heels, we see Redhead at the top. Redhead 12 had posted for a while 1,008 days, because Redhead from day one until now, the Elimination Chamber, March, I think it was 5th or 6th, had never won
Mm-hmm.
any championship. And it's not quite like Modstep, where Modstep had chance after chance after chance before getting the tag title. Redhead kind of got a shot here and there, but then never quite got the shot at a shot, which happened to me for a while. But
Mm-hmm.
somehow, even though, like after last year's Elimination Chamber, which was geared for an Enigma's win, 5-on-1 with Jut Jut, and Jut Jut retained, this was another one, but it was a whole bunch of kind of randoms for the top block, with another UBC former anyway, Bastion, and Redhead won. Redhead took the title, came in I think 5th as we talked about, won the title, defied the odds, and did it kind of in the best way possible, in a sort of way. Like, it's not having won it before made this that much better, I think. What do you think about her position at top on this one?
I think it's fair. I mean, she beat 5 other people for that title, and like I said, it's been a long time coming, and definitely playing up to her part being a heel, especially in Infinity and
Yeah.
what you guys stand for. So uh,
My absolute favorite part of that is it is, without me even trying, much more like Undisputed Era than I'd intended. Because I like the idea, like, am I the leader? Yeah, but we're all even. So Redhead's the one with the
right.
title. Redhead's the one. She's the one kind of doing things. She's the top dog, and we have no problem with
Hmm.
that. That's pretty fun. So I like that a lot. I'll mention 2 people who were in the chamber with her. Actually, 3. Wookiee, Crimson Cyborg, and Nathan 8K were all in that with her. They all went up. They're at 5, 6, and 7. Above me, I went up to 8. Yay. But up under her directly is Orstella and Jaceville in 13. They're holding at 2nd and 3rd, with Modstep dropping to 4th. Now, Modstep lost the tag titles, obviously, so that's his part of the fall. Cassie or
Hmm.
Chappers is way down there at 13, so there's a bit of a split. I think there was a singles match somewhere in there as well that affected things and just how the things have been running. But overall, do you think the positioning is good here with Alpha Dog and 3J Platinum running at the top 10? Woody's down there, Jut Jut's down there, the Midnight Rider's down at 16. Like, some people have fallen, but you know full well
Yeah.
as I, you just bounce back. Yeah, you're in a slide, you can turn it around.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the top 10, it's pretty solid. You got Redhead, and then you got Orstella, who's the UV champ,
Mm-hmm.
and been doing a lot of good work. Jace, they just had that big turn, so I think that's fair. Modstep and yeah, I have no problem with it. I think
Mhm.
it's all good.
And
And
then
then
we
you got
have. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
and then you got Wookiee rounded out your top 5, so the
Mm.
monster. So I like it. I like it.
You had some run-ins with him, and the fact that he's up to 5 means he's climbing back, which means he'll probably be back on your radar at some point, which is always a problem.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Now we have the tweeners, and you have Lucha Warrior, Hawk, Ash. They've all been intertwined with things. There's the Legends, Age of Annihilation. There's battles back and forth there. Gotanaku, LJ, Tom, Rab. And I'm just going to keep naming them because we're going to run out. Peanut is my bitch, Daddy Fatsack, Kier 1, Peanut, and ExoKev, Kevin Exo, Liquid Vamp. And that's it! We have 13 tweeners. Which is kind of refreshing because a lot of people were tweeners for a long time. So to get defined roles into face or heel is actually good. And so people know, if you scroll down, it actually goes to the top 25 if there's that many. There aren't in any category, just for the record. But looking at that, looking at who the champions are, and knowing how contendership works and stuff like that, this is an interesting question for the world champ. Knowing that you are the world champion, knowing that GMSG and Spring Tigress have titles, and Orstella and Redhead have titles, how do you feel knowing that they at least won't be challenging anytime soon, realistically, because they're in their own divisions, they have their own titles, and JD actually for Road Warrior as well.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy because I mean that's less stiff competition, and most of them are faces, well, except for Orstella JD's more of a tweener, I think.
Mm.
But
Bit of a nonsense face, him, but yeah.
yeah, not so, yeah, yeah, yeah. So I like to take care of the heel side, and if and if one of them ends up losing the title and wants to face me, I'm all for that too.
That's a fighting champion.
Hmm.
It's everything me as a face would have been. So it's pretty fun seeing you do that. And I'll just be the
Yeah.
heel coming at it from my side. It's fine. It's great. It's fine.
Hey, we could have a match too. I'm down for
We
that.
gotta. It's yeah. The idea
Hmm.
of us having another non-title match, another submission match, but I beat you this time and you're the champ. Oh,
Oh
I wouldn't be
man,
able to shut up about that. That'd be
right?
amazing. Yeah, that's all I need is right there. So that is the power rankings. As people can see, there is detail here. There is instructions on how they work. There's write-ups about them that the booking team does as well. The committee is here listed below also. The thing that you can look at with this stuff is even the graphic is always customized. It's tailored to number one. And literally, we've got Redhead with the Infinity mask that they came up with, which is like this kind of pink and black mask, but also the custom title, and just went all out with it. It's a lot of fun stuff. So. Now, we do have some articles, and I'll actually mention one of them here that I wasn't planning to, but I saw it over on the side. We did have news about Broken Nerd, first being cast in The Terminator, and then getting injured and not being able to actually be in it. And this is something we're wanting to do more often with the JRPL, where we have storylines outside of things. It's basically Edge versus Booker T in a shampoo commercial leading to a fight. It is kind of that thing. Like, there's more than just, I don't like you, and I don't like you either. Stuff like this is how we want to play things up. Um, you have you really been in much with that kind of stuff, or is your stuff more just been like in ring, here we go kind of
M-
stuff?
my stuff's been more in ring
I think you kind of been
than that.
pulled in through stuff like with Woody in the Solution time frame. There was stuff like that where you were kind of tertiarily involved, but
Yeah, yeah. With my time when I was like with Warden and stuff, and
yeah,
he would do that stuff, and yeah, I would be in that.
okay. Well, now we'll look at the WrestleMania card itself. But again, I'll mention the articles because what we have are a whole bunch. We're working on articles for most of the stuff. I'm actually writing a couple of them. A couple of them are already up. We've got one here about Ash versus the Dark Rider. Will the leader of the Legends of New School survive annihilation? And it's full detail because we go into detail as to why the matches are happening when we book them and where our mindset is for WrestleMania, or things like, well, the Terminator thing is for WrestleMania, but it's stuff like that for how this stuff all plays in, and we do different things different times. I've been subject to a couple of them, like my matches with Lee or Redhead in years prior. I wrote yours and Tino's already, BeerMe, just so you know, when that comes up. Got to focus on that. Ash and Dark Rider have one. Broken Nerd and Alpha Dog, like I mentioned, the Terminator stuff. There's one. Super Hippo and Carlito has one, and there's more to come. So, to really get the most out of the JRPL, yeah, you can predict stuff, but you can go crazy with character stuff, and you can see the stuff we're doing. Because some people will talk to us. Like, I come up with character stuff all the time. And we've done stuff back and forth for match ideas and things. But some people, well, we just don't hear from. So we'll try to do stories for them, like Cross is one, who Bomber just kind of did the black goo with the demon for Finn Balor. He didn't get that from him. He just had an idea to make something unique as a character and went with it. Super Hippo, I don't believe we've ever really talked to him, but he's literally been there since day one on every show. So it's really unique and interesting for how that can work and get people involved. And it's rather interesting to see just how things can play out. Um, and when you see the different articles that we do, when we see the different stuff that we can incorporate for different kind of character, like I was saying, some characters we don't hear from, like Super Hippo, we never hear from him. John, we never heard from him back in the day. Stuff like that. Like BeerMe, like yourself, when I go over matches, you might have an idea for a finish, stuff like that. Others, like myself,
Hmm.
I go nuts with the ideas, and I'll come up with storylines and ways to work it out. So, as far as for people, like I said, I'm recommending check out the articles, check out the stuff, because there might be some character stuff in there for you. Luke Gray is one of the best examples of that because he came in always wanting to do stuff and always showing up and starting to win, having some losses, having some wins back and forth. And now he's in a title match at WrestleMania and he's part of storylines and he's excited by it and he's on the banner and it's great. It's fun to see that stuff work and play out just by embracing the silliness of what wrestling can be while not forgetting the seriousness of what wrestling can be. That's some of the best stuff, I think.
I got a question for you regarding the articles with Ash and Dark Rider.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? I mean, I kind of get off track, but what do you think Hawk's gonna do? Because he's kind of put in this spot where he's got to choose between one or the other.
And that's the beauty of it. That literally is the age and the legends. It's very personal because they were a tag team, and that's part of what we were working on for how this goes and how it all shakes down. And it's worthy of WrestleMania. There's actually like 3 matches with former partners facing off at WrestleMania, which is pretty great. I think it's a good thematic thing. But theirs is interesting because they're part of a faction overall. Like we'll break down the card here in a moment, but theirs is the most unique because there's so many X factors of others. I really don't know what to make of it or how it'll work out. It's interesting when it's almost more about Hawk, who himself is in a title match and has a lot to worry about. I don't know.
Yeah, right?
I don't know where it'll go. I really don't. I'm not sure. What do you think?
I'm very intrigued.
Yeah.
I don't know, because I feel like Hawk and Jace and all them came in at the same time, so I'm like, man, is he gonna... I feel like he's gonna go with Jace, but at the same time, I could see him being like, nah, what are you guys doing? Like, we were a family, and now you turned your back on Ash and all this.
It's a bit of a WrestleMania moment, if I ever heard of one, isn't it?
It is. It really is.
Yeah. And that's something, too, that we really try to go for. With WrestleMania, for the people listening who are part of the JRPL, like I said, the card set. There's, as people can see on the screen, there is the kickoff show. That is for the matches that don't make the main, because there's 15 main matches. For the record, not every main show match gets a write-up. It will for Mania. That's just part of how we do it. But there's usually a kickoff write-up as well. But not every match gets it. And just because you're on the kickoff doesn't mean it's not going to be impressive. There's going to be a write-up for Woody. Is that Woody? No, that's Wookiee versus Fart Bucket. We are giving Fart Bucket to the monster. I thought it was Woody. No, that's Wookiee versus Fart Bucket. It's going to get a write-up. It might just be a big boot and a pin, but it's going to get something. But if you sign up, even if this is your first one, you'll still be on the card, and you'll work your way up there. The Battle Royal that's on screen right now, the criteria for entry this year, we might as well jump into it. It's 20 people, and you must have been at every show this year. So if you skipped Ring of Honor for some reason, you're not on it. Not that Ring of Honor happened this year, but you know what I mean. If you didn't bother with Impact Hard to Kill, you don't qualify for the Battle Royal. Now, is that fair to people who didn't know about that going in? Yeah, because we want the people who would be there anyway in it. It's a bit of a celebration because the winner gets an actual prize. The actual winner of this will get a T-shirt of their choice from, I think, WWE Shop or Pro Wrestling Tees. And the former winners of it, because this is our third WrestleMania, the GMSG and Cammy Cat are entered in. That's the other criteria. Former winners are in it. So there's 18 new people and them. So I think Bomber actually said he wants the winner to actually get the WrestleMania 36 I wasn't there shirt. That's the one I'd pick. And hey, guess what? I'm in this one. And hey, guess what? So are you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I've never been in one, I don't believe. So I'm kind of excited for that. I know Lee was, but I wasn't in one. I'm going to break down the roster of that after the kickoff. I did jump the gun a bit on that. But my point is, sign up for the stuff, sign up for the chat, sign up for the Discord, sign up for the JRPL, all from Jobber Radio, because you can predict stuff, but you also get to be involved in stuff like this and see cool graphics and have fun storylines made up with stuff just because you predicted some fun wrestling matches. It's a lot of fun. why BeerMe and I goddamn love Impact so much. Like, we will sing those praises all day long. Just wait. Man, when we get to predict an Impact show and talk about it here, it's going to be the best day ever.
Oh, it will.
Impact's so good. Well, we have so much fun with it, because that's when we come out. That's when our shows are.
Yep.
But, so, what we've got, like I said, we got Wookiee and Fart Bucket, but we do have an important match on the kickoff. We have a 6-man match, where the winner enters the JRPL Road Warrior Championship match later in the night. Now, we did announce this before, but it is Cade Gailey, Captain Charisma, Cremador, Gotanaku, Killmonger, and Forever Chillin'. The winner of that will face, that same night, the Road Warrior Champion and a few others in a ladder match. So, before you get your predictions, Bomber, or BeerMe, I'm going to say that how this works with title matches, just so people know, you can see what people have picked. We do one honor system. Don't copy someone else's picks. You'll get a no contest, and it's no fun for anybody. But title matches, they're always hidden. This match will also have its picks hidden, because essentially the winner of this goes on to the other match with the same picks. So there's no way to not hide that and have a second set, because we're treating Mania like one show, so it's one set of picks all the way through. So who did you say before? I think we were saying Cade or Cap was going to win that? I forget.
Yeah, I think I said Cade and you said Cap.
Yeah, I believe that's what it was. The winner will go on to the Road Warrior title match. We'll get into that match shortly. But let's run through the card. This is the order of the card, how it's going to go down. There is one other thing that will happen during the event. I don't know where it's going to fall in, but it is the Hall of Fame ceremony, which will be inducting John, the first member, the Solution member, I might add. BeerMe, you're well aware of him.
Yep. Former comrade.
Former comrade. You and Warden are inducting him, I do believe.
Yep.
That should be fun. That should be very interesting to see.
Oh yeah, it'll be good.
For the record, we are treating this Mania like it is Empty Arena from the JRPL Performance Center. We're doing that, but we're also taking cues, and it could be like from different areas. So there's one we're getting to. It's on a closed set. I have modified my entrance, which I was proud of, to be the best entrance ever. I'm so excited. I'm not telling anybody about it. You'll see when you get there, but yep. Which reminds me, actually, I need to talk to you and Tino about WrestleMania entrances if you want something fancy for that. So we'll see about that, because you are the main event. So,
ooh.
But we'll get there. We'll get there. First off, the Peanut Memorial Battle Royal. No, Peanut's not dead. That was Bomber being funny because it's called the Andre Memorial. But we have Spring Tigress, Bastion, Ash, Jonathan C.T. Martin, Buck N5, yourself, BeerMe Jesus. I forget. I think that's Killmonger is Stone Cold. It might be Forever Chillin'. Yep. I forget which one. I think that's... Oh, they're both in it, because there's Dream over there.
Yeah.
So Forever Chillin' and Killmonger. Cade Gailey, Alpha Dog, Mod Step. Like I said, GMSG and Cammy Cat are in there. Oh, I'm blanking. Who's Macho Man again?
Carlito.
Carlito, thank you. CM Carlito. Super Hippo's not in it, but Jace Villain is... I'm horrible with the regulators. John Cena. Is that 3J?
3J Platinum.
Thank you. See, I got it. I got it. I should be confident on this. 3J's in there. Daddy Fat Sack, myself, Redhead, and... Man, I'm a horrible host. Kerry Von Erich.
Gotanaku.
And I'm like, at the moment you said, I'm like, yeah, of course, yes. There's certain ones I just don't remember because I'm like, who took Kerry Von Erich again? I'm like, yeah. So that is a stacked battle royal. That's nuts.
Yeah, it is. Like,
I just don't know who to pick in that because obviously I want to win. I want Red to win. I'd love it if Cammy won again, or GMSG, and yourself, and so many I'd like to see win. But what I like is the potential for stories in that. Because...
Oh, yeah.
Because me and you, we're going to get at it at some point, even briefly, would be fun.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, Bastion, he and I have had problems, obviously. CT and I have had problems. Red and I don't have problems. But Jace hates me, villain and hero. That's some good stuff too. So there's a lot of potential just with. There's my character. You are the world champion. Everybody's gonna be gunning for you. But Red's the top dog.
Oh, yeah.
And we've
Mm-hmm.
got the tag champs are both in there too. So it's going to be insane. Who's your prediction?
Oh, I really do want to win it. I finished second
Did you?
last year.
Oh
Yep.
man,
I
Rumble
also,
runner
I
up,
also
and
finished second. Yeah.
oh, that was not your year to be runner up in the Rumble and Battle Royal.
Um. Oh man, if I don't win it, and if you don't win it,
Hey,
uh, I said if because I'm rooting for you too.
I appreciate it. Yeah,
I'm gonna go out on a limb. I think Bastion might.
I can see that. Yeah, I love the fact that someone like in that storyline, you could literally have someone unpredictable win that, and that's awesome. Because you get the embarrassing moment of, oh my god, he's gonna win it. Oh no, he won it. Like it's yeah, that's a lot of fun.
Or
That's
I'd love for Cammy to win it in back-to-back years, or
yes,
GMSG.
yeah, that'd be
You
cool
know,
too.
be a
Yeah,
two-time winner.
yep, that'd be good. So that is the first match, and that doesn't count towards people's record unless you win it. So that's just so people know, and it doesn't take up a match slot either, because both competitors, as we can see here, are in the next match. We have Redhead 12 facing Jonathan C.T. Martin. It is the Top Lock Championship, and it is a Falls Count Anywhere death match. Now,
Oh man.
again, cool custom graphic with Red's mask and the custom belt and blood on the
Mm-hmm.
logo. But this match has history because Redhead 12 and Jonathan C.T. Martin are former Blissful Enigma compatriots. Like they were the Blissful Enigmas because of Red, and I believe they were the Enigmas because of CT. Like that's why they existed in that way. It was the eloquent Enigmas and everything like that. So the fact that CT, he's a long-running, recognized as one of the better Top Lock champions there's been, just record-wise, and the fact that Red finally won it at his expense, beating him, ending Bastion's reign, now defends it for the first time against him. Not for nothing, there was going to be some non-title matches and other stuff leading up to Mania, but now it's just straight on, here we go. Falls Count Anywhere. So this empty arena, again, gets very interesting when you take that into account. I'm predicting.
Yeah.
I'm predicting Red. I'm gonna. That's me. But who do you see coming out on top on this one?
Oh. I kind of want. I kind of want to see Red retain.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna go with that.
Yeah.
I don't think she's gonna lose it so soon.
No. I I would not be against CT winning just because he's a great champion. No one would really fault that. But come on, it's Red. It's Infinity's queen. Let's go. That's the way to run with it right now. So that's my pick.
You.
The Falls Count Anywhere makes it interesting because I did a Falls Count Anywhere with the Warden. We didn't go in the ring at all. So that when you do stuff like that, you can go anywhere, and Falls Count Anywhere means anywhere. So, I mean, stay-at-home order is not in effect for these two. We'll see what happens on that. But next up, we have more Enigmas. We have the Blissful Enigmas, Junction and Adonex, and they are taking on members of the Renaissance. And I actually had to write it down because I forgot who they were, and then I forgot again. It's Nathan 8K and I forget.
Cassius.
Thank you. I literally did voiceover not even a half hour ago for this match, and I said those names and I wrote it down. I just can't remember some of the names. We got a big roster. Forgive me, guys. But this match, this is following the Enigmas. So whatever happens from that, we have literally the Blissful Enigmas facing members of the Renaissance. Bit of a tag team showcase, which I can say I've been in that before, where it was the Outsiders versus Imperium. Just an important match. We kind of destroyed them, and I'm 2-0 at Mania thanks to that. But there's nothing really at stake, nothing really on the line. It's a big important match following a very interesting one. And who do you see on that one?
I got the Enigmas.
Yeah?
Yeah, they've been together longer.
It is hard to bet against them. They usually do pull it out and stuff like this, and that's kind of been the irony. They usually win in everything but the big one. Red finally won the big one, so it's interesting to see what happens now. Does that keep going, or does it falter? So I agree. I think the Enigmas are probably going to get that one, but I mean, Nathan's hard to bet against sometimes. He's a tricky one, especially with a big
Yeah.
card. This is a literal. We're predicting on a 16-match card. So
God, we are, yeah.
yeah, that's going to be insane. That a ladder match could literally end 3 times, like start over and then end and then start over. Like it, we'll get to how that works in the ladder match, but yeah, it's going to be nuts. Next up, we do have LJ facing Cam Popplestone. Now, we almost made this a street fight because I accidentally did something pretty cool. The story for that was we did Ring of Honor, which got canceled the last minute. So we went ahead with what we had, and I literally had LJ outside because he was boycotting the show, and Cam came out to attack him, and they fought in the street. And I'm like, hey, we should make it a street fight. We got a lot of those already, though. Okay, make it a normal match. Do a street fight later. So it's like, from the streets into the ring. It's that kind of thing. What's fun about this match for me is it's literally 2 guys that have been wronged by Bomber, either rightfully or wrongfully. They're facing each other because of their dislike for how the other reacted to that. It's a rather interesting situation, I find. Who do you think is going to come out on top on this one?
I'm gonna go with LJ.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's been on a roll lately. I mean, I beat him, but other than that, I mean, he's pretty much been on a roll.
He is.
So.
He's hard to bet against. Cam, I love Cam. He's up and down, but he sticks through it, so I respect that so much. I think I'll probably go with LJ as well, just by virtue of, like I said, his history. A little more consistent. But this could be what turns that corner for Cam. Get a big win over LJ and move on from there. So
It's true.
next up, we do have Jace Villain 13 versus the Green Machine. Now, Green is the first to hit 1,000 points, for the record, people know. But Jace, he's a tough one. He's beaten me twice by 1 point. Once solo, once tag. That's all that matters, though. We got the win. But Green Machine, he might falter here and there, but he's probably one of the most low-key successful ones we've ever had.
Agreed.
I'd like to see him win it, but I really think Jace will take that. Who have you got on?
Oh man. Oh, this is tough. You know, I'm gonna go on the opposite. I'm gonna go with Green.
You think so?
Yeah, just I don't know. I just got a hunch. Got a hunch.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, it's a great match though. It's one where it could go either way. It's a good showcase match, which is I think what WrestleMania really focuses on a lot this year. Especially when you see something like the Regulators versus LND versus Team No Chance in a #1 contender match for the tag titles. It is Crimson Cyborg and 3J Platinum, I remembered this time, versus Cure 1 and Lucha Warrior versus Vitamin Yes and Buck N5. Now, the Regulators are former tag champions, as are LND. Vitamin Yes is not. Team No Chance had it when it was Buck N5 and Lily Pilly, but Buck and Vitamin haven't done that, but the faction has. So that is the triple threat #1 contender match. I truly don't know who to pick, but I'm probably going to lean on Team No Chance because they often flourish in moments like that.
Man, they do with those multi tag matches.
Yeah, like a 6-team ladder match, and they won it. It's insane.
But this is a different team though.
True.
I think I'm gonna pick LND.
Think so?
Yep. I'm gonna go. Yep. Yeah, I'm gonna go with LND.
And it's fun because they actually took the titles in a multi-match like that, multi-man match. So it's kind of interesting the parallel we get from that in that regard. Next up, we do have a big heavy hitter match. We talked about it a bit, but we have Ash versus the Dark Rider. This is a big one. bad blood for sure with these guys. Um, I'll be honest, it's hard to bet against Ash, but I've literally had some matches with Dark Rider, and he's kicked my ass a bit. So I would not be surprised at all, and I kind of want to bet on Dark Rider on that one, but it's Ash. He's hard to bet against at this point, at any point, to be fair.
Yeah, I'm more intrigued on where this story's going with this whole group.
That's what
I
you were
think it's
saying.
great.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna go with Ash too,
Mhm.
just because he's got the more hard fought battles under his belt. But I wouldn't be shocked if Dark Rider won.
And like I said, with some others already, this is the kind of win to make you go, oh. And now you think of Dark Rider when you think of guys like Ash. Like it could be that type of thing to put him in that same sentence. So it's a great WrestleMania match. It really is fitting of that, I think. And now, let me see here. Here we go. There we are, Super Hippo and CM Carlito in a hardcore tables match. Now, this is like two veterans. It really is icon versus icon in a way for JRPL. Even though, like, Hippo was the longest reigning Road Warrior champion, he had an incredible reign, or Top Block rather, excuse me. He had an insane reign that no one thought could ever be topped. It kind of has, but it's still, he did it when it shouldn't be a thing. Carlito has had little reigns here and there, but the two of them, they've not really gone beyond that. But things exploded with them, and they're going to settle it in a hardcore tables match. I don't know who to pick. This might be the thing to really get Hippo back on track after like 2 years. He had an amazing first year, and then it kind of faltered ever since. Like, if he stopped, it would not be any surprise to anybody for Hall of Fame in JRPL. No one would argue that. He's one of the first like that. But does he still have it? I don't know.
I think the old Hippo is going to show up. I think he's going to win.
Especially
he's going to do it
against Carlito. I think you're right. I think so too. I'm excited to find out either way.
I think he just needs something to bring that out in him. I think this is it.
Yep. And if I remember correctly, you'll have to reread the article, but I think he wanted this match. He wanted the tables, so because a normal match wouldn't work. He wanted this, so yeah. Next up, we have, unfortunately, not the submission match that you wanted, but it is the Road Warrior Championship match. It is a ladder match. It is Jay Dionio defending against who he was supposed to defend against, Hawk, and then whoever the winner of that was against Payne. And then, before all that, though, the last chance match for Randy the Fiend Orton, and then the original WrestleMania opponent of JJ Rocky. Plus the winner of the kickoff show, which I said was Cap, and you said is Cade. That's a ladder match. That's going to be insane. I don't know who to pick for that. One thing before we really get into that is how a ladder match works in the JRPL. How these work is that if you get the first match on the card right, that's 1. Say the next one, I get right but you get wrong, cool, that's 2. But you're at 0. The next match, we both get right, I'm at 3, you're at 1. And it keeps going until somebody gets 5. The moment someone gets 5, that's it. Match is over, that person
4.
climbed the ladder and got it. No, it's 5.
Is it? No, that's Ultimate X.
No, well, it's 5 for a ladder match.
Right?
No. I thought it was 5.
It?
Maybe it's 4. Well, tell you what, there's a rule section on the site as well. So check that out also, because we do have Ultimate X as well. There is this very similar rule for that. But the factor with this is it's a 16 match card. So even if the entirety of day 1 happens and no one has the requirement in a row, they could still get it with 8 more matches on the next event. Yep. On Sunday. Like, that's how big this is. Normally, TakeOver doesn't have ladder matches because there aren't enough matches. Right? So, that's going to be very interesting to see what happens here. Especially with the fact that we might have someone sitting at 2 when night 1 ends, and they got to wait till day 2 to see what happens there.
Oh, right. Yep.
Yeah. Um, I don't think JD's going to keep that title, but I don't know who's going to win. I kind of want JJ Rocky to come out of nowhere and take this thing. I really want
Because
that.
he's the undefeated new guy. Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of really want that. I'd love for Fiend to get it because that's been great too. And
Hmm.
I mean, there's Hawk, Payne, and the Unknown. I don't know. It's
I mean, JD did win this title. Well, not this reign, but he did win the Road Warrior in like a multi-man ladder match
mhm.
at the beginning. In one of it, I think in his first reign.
I think so. Yeah.
So I'm gonna pick him to actually retain, just because it's a long shot. But I'm gonna pick him to retain.
Okay. I think it will be by capture. If it does go to points where no one gets the requirement in a row, I'm saying that because I can't remember if it's 5 or not. I think you're
Hmm.
right. No, you are right because that was Ultimate X and that was 5. Yeah. So this might only be 4. But if no one gets that, it goes to points. Whoever has the most points wins. Blah blah blah. If it's a ladder match and someone captures, no bonuses apply because bonuses only apply technically at the end. So there's a weird factor there too to keep in mind. But I think JJ might steal this one. I kind of hope he does. That'd be really fun. Next up, we do have the match we talked about a bit: Broken Nerd versus the Alpha Dog. Soundstage in a cage. It's a Hell in a Cell.
Oh, that's badass.
Yeah. I'll be that guy. Yeah, I came up with that name. We literally spent an hour trying to think of what the name of it could be for a movie lot Hell in a Cell. And all these
Hmm.
different versions of that, and I was like, oh, soundstage in a cage. And I got so excited. I'll let you know, BeerMe, because you'll probably be excited. I'm writing this one,
Ooh.
so I'm going all out. The idea for this match, just so people know, think of a soundstage, like a fake house, and then put that inside Hell in a Cell. It's so stupid. I
Yeah.
love it.
It's
Yeah,
great.
they're gonna be fighting in a house, but there's a chain link fence surrounding it, and with a roof. So it's gonna be everywhere. But it's a cool story with Broken Nerd wanting revenge against the Alpha Dog because he cost him that movie role with the injury. So it ties into that, and it's a unique thing, but it leads to a unique match. I'm pulling for Broken Nerd because he's the good guy in that. He's the one who got wronged. That's the way I got to think on that. But Alpha Dog's been a tricky one too that we've seen. I mean, you encountered him recently as well. He's been a
Yeah.
tough one. So
Hmm. I also think Broken Nerd's gonna get his revenge.
you think so?
Yeah, that'll be a
Well,
Mania moment.
yeah, it would. Um, I've got good outcomes either way in mind. So it's going to be a good Mania moment either way. I can promise you guys that. Next up, the Ultra Violent Championship. This is the Ultimate X we were talking about before. So we have Orstella defending for the first time against the Midnight Rider of Infinity. Yeah, that's Lee under that mask. Luke Gray and Hiro Shin Moses. I'm pulling for Ryder. He's never gotten singles gold. I kind of want it. But no joke, I kind of want Luke to win too. Just because, yeah, you know what? I like to see that. Especially considering he'll probably go into Tournament of Death with it. And that'll be interesting of its own accord. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
I
But,
think he's gonna. I think he's gonna win it.
yeah. I think the UV
Yeah.
title really goes up Lee's alley with how he's been of late. Or Stella kind of surprised me in that role, but it's not bad. And Hero
Yeah,
as well. Same idea there, too. So,
yeah. I think anybody who wins that, they could have a good story coming out of it.
I think so, too.
I mean, either way,
Yeah, it'll be good. And like I said, the Tournament of Death is coming after that one. Probably not till the summer.
Hmm.
Or because they did complete at SummerSlam before. I know we've talked about moving some stuff for that. It might be more toward the fall. That remains to be seen, considering who knows what the shows are even going to be right now. So we will see. Next up, though, speaking of tournaments, we have a rematch from the TTCC final. The AHMF, your buddy GMSG,
Hmm.
and Spring Tigress, the defending champions, are rematching with who they took it from: Modstep and Trappers, Simple Creatures. It is an immediate rematch because basically, like I said, the other matches didn't happen for the shows leading up. But the Creatures were the first team to go all the way through Mania, or through the tournament rather, with the titles till the very end. No one had done that before. That puts them on a level no one else has achieved. But it was a weird thing where they lost it right at the end. So here's their shot at redemption against probably the best team there is. And I don't mean like right now, I mean ever. If they win this match against the Creatures, I think that will solidify them as the best tag team the JRPL's had. It's
you can make that argument.
You can start making the argument. They might still be a way to go to make it really definitive, but you can actually start having that discussion because, let's be honest, it's the solution. It is.
Yeah.
It's been 3 years, and the closest team, number 2, is the Outsiders, who didn't exist for a year, and Team No Chance, who hasn't existed for almost a year. So there's some interesting factors there. AHMF definitely can come on strong and go in there. And Simple Creatures can kind of pick up where they left off and keep making a run for that themselves, too. It's clearly the 2 best teams going right now.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be a great match.
Yeah. Who are you picking? I'm picking AHMF, but...
Yep. Yeah, I'm going to do the same.
Same?
I wouldn't be shocked if the Simple Creatures won, but I just think AHMF's on a roll. They won the tournament, so got to keep it going.
I could see that, definitely. Next up, we do have UVC Brother versus Brother, as I've been calling it. Jut Jut 9 versus Bastion in an Iron Man match. Now, it's interesting because this is where Jut Jut turned on the UVC, attacked Bastion with the chair, and it caught them off guard legitimately. And we led to this feud all the way from, I think it was Hard to Kill, all the way to now at WrestleMania. And it's redemption for Bastion. It's a point being proven by Jut Jut. It's an Iron Man match, so I'm not quite sure how that's going to factor in. But it will be very, very interesting to see how this really plays out. The storyline tells you that Bastion gets redemption. But history could easily say that Jut Jut proves his point and moves on. For me, it's a toss-up. I'm kind of leaning on Bastion just because of that, because he's, the good guy in the situation. But there's something about Jut Jut. He's hard to beat, and I kind of want nobody to beat him till I do, someday, eventually. That's just a weird thing. But I'm probably leaning on Bastion just because that's the good guy's got to win, right? So.
Yeah, and Jut Jut's been on a bit of a slide a little bit since he's left, so... But hey, he can prove his point right here at this pay-per-view.
He can do it. And it's a big one.
He very well could, yeah.
And again, former partners facing each other.
Mm-hmm. So they know each other pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's going to be a doozy.
Definitely.
But I'm going to pick Bastion.
You pick Bastion?
Yeah.
Okay. Next up. Oh, look, it's me. Bomber versus Scott. No rope, barbed wire, death match.
Oh, man.
So this, as I've gone on about this one a lot myself before. It's 3 years in the making. Never with the plan to be a WrestleMania match quite like this. Even though I did go to Bomber probably last summer and said, it'd be cool if we faced one-on-one next year. That'd be neat. And then I went heel and thought that was gone forever. And then he went face. And I got real excited. And the fact that he cost me the Rumble, literally, storyline-wise, I missed my clothesline on Tino, went to hit the ropes, he pulled it down and I fell out. He cost me the Rumble. Like, period. Dot. Then he interrupted my birthday and the anniversary with Red and made it all bad. And I said any match doesn't matter. So he accepted with the barbed wire, no rope death match.
Ooh.
Now, my history with death matches is not great. That's the point of where my character started going all rough. But I've started winning them. Like the Hell in a Cell and stuff. So it's interesting how the character can evolve, and I'm really excited by that. But this is 2 WrestleManias in a row with no goddamn ropes. At least there's a ring this time. But like the Hell in a Cell had no ring. That was the gimmick. There's no ring for this couple, right? I think things change. But I mean, obviously I'm picking myself, but let's be honest, the good guy should win. That's Bomber. But
Yeah. You're kind of going into his wheelhouse too, which
I
is,
so am going into his wheelhouse.
that's gonna be a tough hill to climb.
A big part of it too, even in the brawls we had in January, where it was Infinity versus the UVC. I just want to get my hands on him. He was the always been a problem. We always had that history, and whenever we get into a brawl. I always wrote it where he got the better of it, because I'm not a brawler.
Right.
So it's like I want to fight you, but stop fighting me. Let me wrestle. Like it's that kind of thing. So it's not in my wheelhouse. So as a classic villain would, how do you turn that into your favor?
Yeah.
Right? So yeah. This match has been written for about a month, for the record.
Oh.
And he's got it for Punch Up and the finale. Because I did it what I thought would be good. Then I told him, all right, go further. So we are making this insane. Inspired by Omega and Moxley, definitely. They're crazy. But just straight CZW too.
Yeah.
Like we're not holding back on this. So yeah.
Oh, it'll be good.
Who you picking?
Oh man.
Like I said, I want to win, but he probably should. But
yeah, I'm gonna root for you, Scott. So I'm gonna pick you. I think you'll. I mean, you're walking in literally into a lion's den, but I'm gonna.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna pick you. I'm gonna pick you to win. And I got faith in you.
And I like the idea of the character there that can totally just steal it, right? Like that's often what happens with that kind of situation. The thing that I haven't mentioned with a lot of these matches is there's lots of factions involved. And I'm in a faction now with Infinity. I don't plan for Infinity to be involved. But who knows? And maybe someone comes after Bomber. That's the kind of thing with no rope barbed wire death match. Anything goes. And there's so many, like the Iron Man match, anybody can get involved, stuff like that. So there's a lot that can go wrong in those situations, but we will see. And now we have the main event. World Champion BeerMe Jesus versus Royal Rumble winner Tino. So, let me preface part of this with basically bits of the article that I wrote. We have two-time Royal Rumble winner Tino, the only man to have ever won the Rumble and beaten the champion, because in the first Rumble, Banksy won, but did not dethrone the champion. So it's right now a 50-50 with Rumble winners. Tino could be the only one to do it twice, let alone, he could still be the only man to ever do it. And last time he beat Jut Jut. This time he faces you. Now, you and him have history with this as well, because at that first Rumble that he won, he eliminated you to do it. But
yeah,
this makes Tino the only one to ever win the Rumble and defeat the champ at Mania. However, you have an interesting connection here as well as champion, because the only champion to successfully defend at Mania was John of the Solution. As are you. Technically, kind of. You're the only one left of the Solution, but you get my point. Yeah. So, can Tino do what Tino does, and only Tino has ever done, or can you do what the Solution has only ever done? One of those things will not happen.
It's true.
It's like classic MMA. Someone's O must go. Like it's kind of amazing how that works out. And just in 3 years, that's the situation we have. As far as I'm concerned, I'm pulling for you, because I want you to be world champion when I face you. But, but as I've said many times, I don't care who has the gold. They're my target. And if it's Tino, man, he won the Rumble instead of me. You know I want to get my hands on him again. So I'm invested either way, but I'm pulling for you on this one, BeerMe.
Ah, thank you. He always seems to come up big in these big matches, so we'll see. But I think I'm gonna win. Well, obviously I'll bet on myself, but
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, again, the story that we couldn't even make the story up. It just happens to be that Tino's the only guy to do it before, and the Solution's the only people to do it before. So now that's against each other.
Mm-hmm.
You,
Yeah.
what? We could not have planned that going in, right? So
Right.
there you go.
Yeah. It's going to be a banger of a main event.
Yeah. And that is WrestleMania. That is the card. Overall, I think it's our strongest one. I've loved some of the matches we had before. I love some of the matches we have now. Some, obviously, like some I'm not as excited about, but that's going to be anybody with a set of 15 matches. Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That Cody Rhodes talks about that with the idea of there being a buffet. Some are for others, some aren't. I love the idea of what we're dealing with here. Oops. I hit the wrong button and changed my screen briefly. It's live. Don't worry about it, people. It's recorded, but live. But looking at the top three, I've got them on the screen there. BeerMe and Tino, Bomber and Scott, Judge and Bastion. And yeah, someone might say, oh, it's like Solution, UVCs, blah, 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 blah. Yes, okay. Consider the fact the first Mania, I was in a throwaway tag match. I scroll down here, and it was like this match down here with Enigmas and Renaissance. I call it throwaway because I wanted a higher spot on the card. And I did what I did to get there and get there. Hey! Clearly all these guys can do that too. That's what I'm kind of trying to make my point. Like the LJ Cam match, a little bit of a marquee on that. Jason Green, okay. Ash and Ryder, look at Ryder. Look at him go. Yeah, it's a former world champ he's in there with. That's the kind of thing that people can work towards and elevate with. And literally next year you could be in there against your tag team partner that you hate now. All teams, think about that. That's a possibility. Or maybe you're running up against BeerMe or myself or Bomber, and it's me and you going at it. Or like, yeah. Think of Mania. Sometimes you get the young upstart versus the veteran. Sometimes it's Michaels and Undertaker. Right? Like, you're going to get those guys too. I know I sound like I'm talking out my ass, but some people are at that upper echelon. But they weren't always there. Believe me, when Solution was running roughshod, I was killing to try to get in there and do that. And it took Solution not being there to get there, but that's how it works. So,
right?
Think of this year's WrestleMania, this actual WrestleMania, where Austin Theory is now confirmed in the Raw Tag Title match. You never know what can happen.
Yeah.
There's opportunity for everybody involved, so it's pretty nuts. What do you think of the overall card?
Yeah, I think it is probably the best WrestleMania card that we've had. It's got a lot of interesting matches. What match are you most looking forward to?
Only because
you
I'm
can't
writing
pick
it.
your own.
I want the soundstage in a cage, but I'll try to pick one that I'm not writing. I'm not writing that. Redhead, False Gun Anywhere. I'm pumped to see what happens.
Yeah.
Actually, the Battle Royal is honestly gonna be super fun.
Oh yeah, everybody loves a good battle royal.
But we're both in that, so we shouldn't pick that.
Yeah.
But I'm writing a few of them, and I gotta step back from that because I'm pumped for my own match. I'm pumped for your match. I'm pumped for. I scrolled past it. Where'd it go? The Redhead. I'm pumped for Soundstage. I'm not writing Redhead's match, but I'm pumped for that one. There's so many in there that I'm like, yeah, I'm excited for, which is awesome.
Yeah. I'm pumped for the Bastion and Jet one too, just because of the history.
Oh yeah.
I think that one will be pretty good. I was most pumped for that submission match, but it's not happening now. So, but that ladder match is still going to be really good because who knows who will win that?
It's still good.
Imagine if the winner that won that match went in and then won that, they would have beaten like 12 different guys or like 10 different guys or something like that. It's insane.
And no one can really argue that they deserve it or they don't deserve it because they won.
Right?
Yeah. There you go. But yeah, what should have happened was at Ring of Honor, it would have been JD and the Fiend, and then the winner would go to, what was it, Takeover? No, Supercard against Hawk. Then the winner of that would go to face Pain at Takeover. Then the winner of that would face whomever, presumably JJ Rocky, but maybe that was supposed to be JD and JJ, or I don't know. But now it's like, no, you get all of them, go. And that's fun, because that would not have happened if not for these postponements or cancellations. So the fact that you can end up with stuff like that is really interesting to me. So,
yeah.
But yeah, so I'm excited for all of that. I'm really excited to see where this goes and what happens from there. I will scroll down because people can see, yeah, we've got the Money in the Bank graphic up there, May 10th. Who knows if that's a thing? I presume it's going to be a thing. They're going to do it somehow, some way. Even if it's a ladder on the roof of Titan Tower, I don't know. But they'll work it out and figure something out. But that's the next one.
That would be pretty dope.
But yeah, for the time being, there's no indie shows. It's just going to be WWE.
And
like Impact canceled.
Well, what about AEW? Aren't they still doing theirs?
They are. That'll be May, end of May for Double or Nothing if they do theirs. So we can presume that that's going to happen too. So we'll see what happens with all that. That'll be very, very interesting. And now an awkward cut later, because I jumped out probably too quickly. We do have two other things to talk about here before we finish up. It is the JRPL music video made by Jonathan C.T. Martin. He's done a few of these on the JRPL channel. Go subscribe to that on YouTube. It is using the theme song, which every event has an official theme song. By official, it's just the one we like and put to it. And he has done these for usually SummerSlam or Survivor Series and WrestleMania. And it takes our matches with our characters, so like John Moxley and Bret Hart are together, or Tino and BeerMe is Shinsuke and Razor together. So it's some fun editing with that. BeerMe and I are going to watch it together live. This has been made available, but we're going to kind of comment on this and what we think of it, and just kind of play it through. So whenever you are ready, I'll let you press play there and make sure you have the right sync, and we'll go from there.
Alrighty. Alright. I will start her up.
Now, have you watched this before?
I have.
So that's a bit of a callback to last year's Mania when he did this already. Literally eating Jut no less.
The No Crowd Arena.
The No Crowd Arena. And there you are, the world champ.
Me. Yep.
And there's your challenger.
Oh, man.
Oh, there's Bomber with his barbed wire ready for me. Oh, God, it's going to suck.
That's going to be you.
Oh, no. No.
There you are.
There's me. That's it. I'm gone. And now we got the Iron Man match. I was going to go to CT, but like, hey, why is there less of me? He's barely in it, too, so it's all good. But I love that clock. The Iron Man, that's amazing for the Iron Man. That is so cool.
Yeah. Yup.
And then the tag team titles.
Yup.
There's Red.
UB.
And there's CT. And he's gone. Ultimate X. I mean, there's our Stella. Oh God, I love that shot of Luke. Felix and Moses, and yeah, the Midnight Rider. The gimmick is so great. It's fun. And not your submission match, but
right. And Hawk and Randy.
Because it's a movie set, right? Get it?
Yep.
And it was Terminator, so yeah, soundstage in a cage. Oh God. Yes, Hippo and Carlito. I think that's low-key both our favorites we're looking forward to. I really do.
Yeah.
Yeah, gonna be some insane stuff in that tag match too.
Yeah, there really is.
But what I really liked is, oh, of course the new shot of Brody Lee, so good.
I love that, yeah.
What I really like that CT does is not talking bits like this, or like movement and action. He really cuts well with something to get across the character, or like the look. Like that. There's Nathan. Yeah, that's so great.
Screen door.
Yeah. Like that's a backstage clip of Von Erich. Yeah, of course, these. So some very interesting stuff to include. But I love his decisions on that. It's usually some great stuff. Hey, look at you! Are you gonna do it? Hopefully. Or is he coming?
I hope.
So, what this is, I just decided to do it because I wanted to do this, for Frontline, as a fun thing. I've always loved the old pre-show promos where they kind of run down the card at the end. I know TakeOver does that a lot, actually, too, right now. NXT. but it kind of shows like, here's the world title, here's the women's title, here's the tag title, and in a boneyard match, and that kind of stuff. Like, it's just 5 seconds to really get it across. For the record, it's 8 seconds. I had to time it and re-record this over and over and over and over and over to get it right. But the guys liked the test I did, then they really liked the full version of it, where it's just the music and the things, and I recorded it tonight. So you're about to be the first person to actually see this thing. It's going to go live.
Ooh, I'm hyped.
Once this episode goes live, it'll actually go live probably on Saturday, because it's like tonight at WrestleMania is the idea. I've not even heard this back myself, aside from when I was editing it an hour or two ago. So I'm nervous, but whenever you're ready, BeerMe, if you want to click on play, we can get this going, and we'll be good to go.
All right, here we go.
Tonight, it's the showcase of the Immortals on the grandest stage of them all. It's JRPL WrestleMania 2020. I did it like Vince. The third annual Peanut Memorial Battle Royals. These 20 superstars trying to claim the coveted prize. Can the GMSG or Cammy Cat win again, or will we see a new winner to start the show? Top Block champion Red at 12 defends against Jonathan C.T. Martin as the former Enigmas collide in a Falls Count Anywhere death match. Can the Queen of Infinity make sure he never challenges again? More Enigmas are in action as Junction and Adnex face off
cropped on the
against
screen,
Cassius
but
and
the full
Nathan
video.
8K of the Renaissance in an epic tag team encounter. You can hear when I
From
read
the
the breath.
streets of Las Vegas to the WrestleMania ring, LJ and Camp Alberson will finally settle the score as their bad blood comes to a head once and for all. Will Jace Villain 13 come out on top, or will the Green Machine show why he is one of the most durable veterans on the entire roster? Find out tonight when they go one-on-one. 3 teams fighting for another shot at Tag Team Gold as the Regulators, LND, and Team No Chance vie for the #1 contendership. Former world champion Ash and the Dark Rider get very personal as these former tag partners look to tear each other apart as the legends face the Age of Annihilation. And another clash of tag partners, now bitter enemies. Super Hippo and CM Carlito are going to wreak havoc as well, and what better way to do it in a hardcore table match. No shows mean no defenses for World Warrior champion JD Onio. Until now, JJ Rocky, Randy the Fiend Orton, Hawk Payne, the winner of a 6-man challenge in a ladder match. Broken Nerd seeks vengeance after an injury caused by the Alpha Dog cost him a role in the Terminator. But now he is back, and both are looking to terminate inside Soundstage in a cage. Ultra-violent champion Orstella gets a serious test in his first defense as the Midnight Rider, Luke Ray, and Hiroshi Moses look to put it all on the line in Ultimate X. It's a TTCC finale rematch as the Simple Creatures look to avenge their tournament loss and regain the titles from AHMF as 2 of the best face off once more. It's UPC brother versus brother as 2 greats collide after months of tension and betrayal by Chut Chut. It won't be over quick as Bash looks for revenge in an Iron Man match. 3 years! Scott said he'd do anything to face Bomber, but gets it in a no-rope barbed wire death match. Can the Founder take down the Hero, or will Scott go 3-0 on the grandest stage? And in our main event, 2-time Royal Rumble winner Tino will challenge JRPL World Champion BeerMe Jesus for the world title. Can BeerMe retain again, or is it Tino time yet again? Everything will be answered tonight at WrestleMania.
That's really good, Scott.
So,
oh man,
I'm proud of that. I'm real proud of that. So we're gonna ramble on unless we stop. So we're gonna stop. That is WrestleMania. Again, the predictions page is probably going up on Friday at some point. Your deadline is an hour before the pre-show on Saturday. WrestleMania starts on Saturday. You got to put it in before Saturday. If you don't, you're too late for the whole thing. And I believe it's starting at 7, and there is an hour-long kickoff at 6 Eastern. So your deadline is 5 Eastern Saturday. So please make sure you put in your predictions. It's been a month. We're a little stir-crazy. We want more wrestling. It's coming. Now, the important thing to keep in mind with the fact that, yes, WrestleMania was taped last week. We are not dealing with spoilers. If you post any spoilers in the general chat, you'll probably get banned outright. That's how we treat all spoilers. Be it NWA Power, Ring of Honor tapings, don't put them in general chat because some people just want to watch the stuff and see how it goes. I personally am super pumped for WrestleMania because this is so goddamn unique. I don't know what they're going to do, and I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Is it different from being live? Yeah. Would they ever do this again? Not if they could help it, but I'm game to see what happens. And
it'll be one you'll never forget.
Exactly. Now, as far as for how spoilers work, it was all internal stuff, so nobody really knows the outcomes. And people can claim they know there's outcomes. People can claim that they did multiple outcomes of matches, so who knows what they do. Like, TV's does that. Like, they had a scene on The Walking Dead where a character died, but they filmed it where every character was in that scene. So nobody knew the actual one they were going to go with, right? So I understand that's happened for matches. I don't know. I don't want to know. How we're going to treat it for this card, though, is that when the prediction page goes live, it's with the official card as we know it. So the best example, obviously, it's the biggest elephant in the room. Roman Reigns has himself on ESPN said he did not participate, but they keep promoting that match. If we put the page up right now, that match is on there because they didn't stop promoting it. So keep that in mind when you predict if you happen to know that he didn't do it. Don't put your 16-pointer on that. They have all the time in the world. They've often announced matches on Twitter, on WWE.com, during NXT tomorrow night, during SmackDown Friday, and probably during Saturday and Sunday as well. They're going to announce stuff like that. They're going to change stuff because it was taped and things happened as they were taping it. So keep that in mind with your predictions. But don't say that match shouldn't be there because you know it isn't, because it's as of predictions, there you go. What happens if you put points on a match and the match doesn't happen or is changed? It gets thrown out. The best example of that is Austin Theory is in the match as of Raw for the Raw tag titles. So that match is going to be what's announced. It's already there. Austin Theory and Angel Garza versus the Street Profits. People had rumored saying a match was changed and Andrade couldn't do it because of injury. Cool. But up until Monday, it was Andrade. So that's how this is going to work. Okay? So keep that in mind, everybody, when you're doing your picks. Don't put 16 on Roman Reigns. I wouldn't do it.
Right.
Let's be honest here. But don't go into Discord saying you know outcomes. Don't do that stuff. Because I really doubt that you do. Because they only had so many people to film it, and I doubt that people were escaping with leaks because they'd probably lose their job. Let's be clear on that. And really, what's the fun in it? Some of the most fun we have, BeerMe, is watching Power and just geeking out over this stuff, even though it was taped like 2 months prior. But it's happening.
Yeah.
Right? So
Right.
let's all just enjoy this. The simple fact of it, and I said it on Jabba Radio, I'm going to say it again tomorrow night when we record that, is that this WrestleMania does not need to happen. They don't need to be doing this. It is not essential services. It is not safe for them to do, by any stretch. I don't care how much testing they're doing. It is ridiculous. They taped it in advance. But they're doing it because, yeah, they have commitments for money and all this stuff. But it's also going to be a fun time to distract. They will be remembered for putting on this show to really get your mind off things. And that's what we like to do by predicting on it and having fun with it. So let's just do that. Let's just have fun with it and enjoy this weekend of wrestling and the following couple days of write-ups that come from it from there. Anything you got to say to add to that, Jim?
No. Good to go.
Okay, so again, 5 p.m. Eastern is your prediction deadline. Keep in mind of what's happening versus what you know. And yeah, let's just have fun. Let's go to Jabba Radio, watch it all. And for Beer Me Jesus, this is Scott signing off on this front line. The next one will happen after WrestleMania. And who the hell knows what's going to be going on at that point. But we're going to build toward Money in the Bank. But first, we will talk about the fall on the next one. Don't worry. That might take a week or two to do to be really thorough with how big our Mania is going to be. Hopefully, you're still champ by that point.
Hopefully.
Thanks again, everybody. Have a good night.
Bye.